Hello and welcome. In this presentation, we are going to talk about how to support your personal well-being. First, let's start with 8 dimensions of well-being. These dimensions are emotional, environmental, financial, intellectual, educational, physical, social, and spiritual. All these aspects influence what is the state of our well-being in our everyday life. In this presentation, we are going to talk in detail about several aspects that are related to well-being. The first one is mindfulness, then we are going to talk about gratitude, emotions, physical activity, nutrition and hydration, and sleep. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment, while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations. It can be used as a therapeutic technique. And now a small exercise for you. Do you remember your way to the university or your work today? How many details can you reckon in your memory? Maybe the smells, maybe some people that you met, maybe the weather, maybe the cars that passed you by. How many details are you able to indicate? Mindfulness in our daily life can be introduced by many different activities. Here are some examples that you can use as inspiration. You can try, for example, mindful breathing, mindful movement, mindful eating, or mindful meditation. What is important is to pay attention to the present moment. When you are mindful, you can do any kind of movement or any kind of activity, and you can practice mindfulness in this way. So what is gratitude? That's another concept that is very useful in creating our well-being during everyday life. Gratitude is the quality of being thankful, involving an appreciation for what one has received. It can be tangible or intangible, and it is often accompanied by a desire to reciprocate or express kindness. Can you think of 3 specific things that you are grateful for right now? Those can be big things like your beloved ones, or that can be something small like maybe a warm drink, a coffee that you are drinking now, or maybe the sun on your skin. Think what you are grateful for. Try to think of 3 specific things. When we want to practice gratitude in our everyday life, we can use different ways. We can use, for example, gratitude journal where we write down 3 to 5 things that we are grateful for every day. We can use thank you notes. We can use 3 things exercise. So before sleep, we try to reckon what kind of good things happened during our day and why they mattered. Or we can use visualization where we try to close our eyes and recall the past experience that was positive to allow ourselves to feel the gratitude for this particular event that happened in our life. So, what are emotions? That's another important aspect in our life. So, these are complex psychological and physiological states that involve a combination of subjective experiences, physiological arousal, and behavioral response to internal or external stimuli. They help us to respond adaptively to our environment, so influencing cognition, decision making, and social interactions. And another small exercise for you. How many emotions can you name? As far as basic emotions are concerned, there were 6 basic emotions identified by Paul Ekman, and these emotions are happiness, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, and disgust. And it appeared that these are all universal across cultures. Emotions can help us to be internal compass. They guide our decisions and our behaviors. Here you can find a more detailed list of emotions that you can check and you can explore by yourself. You have a QR code that you can scan and you can try to focus your attention on how are you presently feeling. And you can try to use this wheel to identify your present feelings. You can use this feeling wheel whenever you feel the need. There are different strategies to improve emotional awareness. So, for example, the mindfulness practice that we talked about can be very useful in improving emotional awareness. Also, journaling, when we write about your emotional experiences to identify triggers, patterns, and growth areas, is another example that you can use. You can also use breathing exercise or nature walks. All these can help you in improving your emotional awareness. Another important aspect of well-being is physical activity. Just 30 minutes of physical activity a day can reduce the risk of depression by up to 30%. Unfortunately, over 25% of adults worldwide fail to meet this minimum requirement. According to the World Health Organization, it is recommended to engage yourself in a moderate physical activity for at least 150 to 300 minutes each week. So think now, how many hours a day do you spend sitting? And how many activities of movement per day or per week do you have? Think how to improve the second. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. That's why it's so important to use at least short breaks during your work or during your studies to implement your moving routine, to try to move a bit more, to try not to sit so much during your whole day. Why it matters? Because physical exercise significantly influences neuroplasticity and also has a lot of beneficial effects. It influences our physical health, mental and emotional health, long-term wellness, as well as social and productivity gains. So it's really worth to move. Another important aspect of your well-being is nutrition. The gut microbiota is a complex ecosystem essential to human health. So it's important to feed our guts with the food that is good for our body. So think about vegetables and fruit that you eat. Think about the quality of food that you eat, how much processed it is. So think about the possible ways of improving it. Remember that the gut is the body's second brain, so by improving your nutrition, you can improve your brain functioning. Another important aspect is hydration. It's important to keep your water balance because it's crucial for homeostasis. There are different roles of proper hydrations, like regulating body temperature, keeping joints lubricated, delivering nutrients to cells, or improved physical performance. Another important aspect is sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene is quite complex and influenced by many different factors. Here are some steps that you can use. First, maintain consistent sleep schedule. Second one, create a sleep-friendly environment. The third one is to keep a healthy diet and physical condition. The fourth one is manage stress and mental health. And finally, write down tasks that need to be done before your sleep so that did not come to your mind when you are trying to fall asleep. Check your sleep efficiency in your free time. What is it? What is the indicator? Thank you very much for your attention. That's all for today. Here are some references if you would like to find out more. And good luck with implementing your habits of well-being.